Ioke is afraid that it might not be appropriate according to regulations. If he loses control, what should we do? Should the team leader or deputy team leader meet him instead? Both of them are currently not in the office, having just gone out to investigate the first demon-headed person. The relationship between the two of them isn't always tense, right? Why are they acting together this time? Are they competing to see who can resolve it first? What are you competing for? Let me go first, you go first. Deputy Team Leader Baekjit of the Rockang City Investigation Bureau. Captain Yang Mayon of the Rockang City Investigation Bureau. Baekji, get off my car quickly and don't follow me. Who's following you? I'll just go along. Please call BangHu. So I'll check the spiritual pollution level. Simryong returned to the waiting room and met BangHu, bringing a device placed on the table, a lie detector, which detects lies based on fluctuations in spiritual levels, to test whether the user is telling the truth or lying. If your heart is upset, it will react. Every Iojoryeongsa new entry must pass this test. BangHu had no hesitation in putting his hand on the lie detector and telling Simryong what he wanted to ask. Ask any number of questions. The first question is, if at this moment there's a very powerful monster in the city killing people, and you have only 3 choices: fight with the demon, run away alone, or try to save as many people as possible and then run away. In that case, what would you decide among the 3 choices? BangHu calmly answered, I choose option 1, fight with the demon. A lie detector showed no reaction, indicating that BangHu was not lying. Simryong looked at him suspiciously. Could he be the person who would give up his life for others? I hate all demons, so even if I have to fight, I'll fight once. If I can't, I'll fight twice, until I find its weakness. The second question: if in the future, humans find it difficult to fight against demons, and at that time, the demon invites you to join, promising you unimaginable power, authority, and position, would you join? Without a moment's hesitation, BangHu immediately said he would never. Simryong was quite surprised by his answer. She had never seen anyone who could answer the second question so quickly without thinking. So if the demon offered you great power and promised to protect your family, loved ones, and friends, would you join? No. If my family surrendered to demons and invited me to join, I have no family. As far as I know, my relationship with Joe-ho is very good. He is my only friend. If he wanted me to betray humanity, what would I do? I don't mind not having friends. Outside, Simryong looked calm, but internally she was already in turmoil. Because the lie detector had never reacted from the beginning until now, BangHu had always spoken the truth. The last question: after becoming an Iojoryeonsa, what do you want to do most, or what is your ideal? Destroy all demons in this world. For a moment, the room fell completely silent. Simryong looked at the lie detector, which still showed no reaction. It was hard to believe. Since when has an Iojoryeongsa appeared as great a person as this? Simryong had encountered many Iojoryeongsa who had undergone testing, but absolutely none like BangHu. Their psychology is twisted and dark, their human nature greatly magnified. Their answers are also very mysterious and perverted. How could the Demon King say such things about humanity? So we can have a great slaughter of the human race. Whoever has more lives, if strong, follow them. Strong demons, I like that. My ideal is to be rich and prosperous. Chaos is wealth. I will marry 100 wives. The weak blood of demons ascends. My ideal is to become a demon. In Simryong's thoughts, BangHu had become a great person with a broad and loving heart towards all beings. If the lie detector didn't lie, he was a little angel of humanity. Not a saint. The appearance seems cold, but inside is a warm and sincere heart. Is he cold on the outside, but in it, he is hot like a legend. Comparing it, we are just a silent bug. It's not fake, is it? Or is the lie detector broken? To check, she knocked a few times. I not only want to destroy all demons, I also want to torture my beloved wife more cruelly. Moreover, she must not die too easily. She must feel 100 times the suffering I have gone through. Thousands of those pains are just being experienced. The test ended, and BangHu was led by Simryong to the office of the head of the Investigation Bureau. Wang, that head, is here. Has he passed the test, BangHu? I am Wang Diabke, currently the head of the Rockang City Investigation Bureau. Please sit down. You've finished talking. He glanced at BangHu. But before he finished speaking, this guy had already sat down long ago. He's quite natural, this young man. BangHu calmly faced Wang Diabke, seeming to regard him as just an ordinary person. Wang, greeting him with an indifferent attitude, as if he was indifferent, left Wang Diabke at a loss for words. Simryong stood beside him, her body trembling with anger. The head took the report and began to read it. Just after reading a few lines, he stopped, thinking he might have read it wrong. The head put on his glasses to read it again more carefully, but his eyes were still filled with disbelief. He couldn't believe it because Bangu's test results were too perfect. The head turned to look at Simryong, his eyes seeming to ask her if this was true. Simryong simply nodded gently. The head struggled to calm the shock in his heart, took a deep breath to regain his composure, then proceeded to shake Bangu's hand. I must say, Mr. BangHu, your performance was flawless. Even without the ability to predict the future, I would like to invite you to join the Investigation Bureau. BangHu immediately withdrew his hand. You said I have the ability to predict the future. Is there a time limit or number of times within the dimension? I can travel between past and future, witnessing countless deaths and rebirths, experiencing limitless abilities. As for the future, it's just a play that can be changed at will. After hearing this, both Simryong and the head had different expressions. Can't speak straight. He has to spin around like he's holding the universe. Then, while the head was talking to BangHu, the door suddenly burst open from outside. How many times do I have to say before entering? You can't work in a hurry like that. The head was in great disorder. The person who pushed the door open announced in panic, Baekchi, the deputy team leader, he's dead. Wang, the head, and Simryong listened intently, immediately standing up in shock. Wang questioned urgently, what are you saying? How could Baekchi possibly be dead? He's the strongest fighter we have, the top Eojoryongsa in Rockang City. If even he falls, Rockang City will descend into chaos. What exactly happened? The deputy team leader found a demon head in the suburban Cheonbuk apartment complex. However, he didn't report it to Yang Mayam, thinking he could handle this peculiar case alone. But unexpectedly, there was another demon hiding there. Wang Diabke slammed his hand on the table in frustration. Another one. What's wrong with your intelligence work? How could there be a hidden demon in Cheonbuk without your knowledge? The intelligence department thoroughly investigated the entire city before. There was no indication of another demon. It seems this one suddenly appeared. This isn't a fault of the intelligence team. The head sighed in resignation and sat down heavily. Where's Yang Mayam? Yang Mayam has already headed to Cheonbuk. Soang replied, leading BangHu to a resting room. Rest here for a bit, Simryong. We'll head to the meeting room shortly. BangHu stood up. Goodbye, head Wang Diabke, then followed Soang, asking him to lead the way. On the way, BangHu unintentionally overheard discussions about Yangsa and Yangyang, both creations of the Central Bureau's Research and Development. He had only seen their images on demon forums, but never encountered the actual items. Yangsa is a currency made from iron and steel, capable of transmitting psychic energy. It's mainly used to forge weapons or defensive tools. Yangyang, on the other hand, is designed to prevent spiritual pollution and handle cases of loss of control among Eojoryongsa. It's a highly valuable resource. By now, BangHu had returned to the waiting room, sitting next to Soang, who appeared deeply troubled and anxious. The top Eojoryongsa of Rockang City can be killed so easily by just 2 demons. They're like low-level demons from ancient times, skin as tough as iron and steel. Ordinary weapons simply can't compete. The human body is too fragile, with an abysmally low failure tolerance rate. Facing demons with psychic abilities is a huge disadvantage. BangHu suddenly stood up, pulling back the curtain covering the door and addressing Soang. There's no use sitting around here in a hurry. Soang, somewhat puzzled, was about to ask BangHu what he meant when he was struck unconscious as BangHu swiftly incapacitated him. Taking Soang's clothes, BangHu disguised himself as a member of the demon investigation team. Weak Yeojoriyansa are not for me, he thought, taking advantage of the chaotic intelligence situation to gather information. Deputy Team Leader Bakche's strength is formidable. Yang Myeon, the team leader, wasn't with him. How could they be ambushed like this? Was there a conflict? I heard the deputy was dissatisfied after losing to team leader Yang Myeon in a match. Yang Myeon's luck seems to be his special ability. Interesting, BangHu muttered to himself. During the match, the deputy had stomach pain and couldn't give his all. He's quite arrogant and wouldn't even stop for a bathroom break, leading to his defeat. BangHu spat contemptuously. It's all starting to make sense, a rather foul story. He concluded there was no useful information here. Just then, all staff received an urgent summons to the meeting room. The head, Wang Dioke, had returned and was calling for an emergency meeting, likely to deliver crucial information. Shortly after, all high-ranking personnel from the Demon Investigation Bureau gathered in the meeting room. BangHu suddenly caught the scent of cigarette smoke. Someone dares to smoke during an emergency meeting, he thought, noticing white smoke drifting from a young man sitting hunched in a corner. It dawned on BangHu that this person was likely Yang Myeon. Observing his melancholic demeanor and the scattered cigarette butts on the floor, it seemed the rumors about his relationship with Deputy NDT-0 were not unfounded. At this moment, Chief Wang Dioke spoke up. The demonic entity that Baichi encountered was a shadow demon, utilizing its ability to conceal itself within darkness. The battle between the deputy and the humanoid demon was hampered by inadequate intelligence, failing to timely detect the presence of the shadow demon. Fearing its swiftness and the unseen threat from behind, Baichi was tragically attacked and fatally wounded, ultimately succumbing to its hands. Captain Yang Myeon successfully dealt with the humanoid demon, but the shadow demon remained elusive. Therefore, our next priority is to exert all efforts to uncover and eradicate this shadow demon, seeking vengeance for Baichi. Despite this, there is also some good news. Our Captain Yang Myeon has been promoted to the rank of 3rd tier Eljoryeongsa, placing him among the highest-ranking Eljoryeongsa in our formidable city of Rakang. This national 3rd tier status is achieved when one's fortune-telling ability surpasses 41%, demonstrating its potential effectiveness. After finishing his cigarette, Yang Myeon slowly rose to his feet, surrounded by discarded cigarette butts. He reached into his pocket for another pack, only to find it empty. Absent-mindedly crushing the pack, he cast a weary glance toward the group. "Anyone have cigarettes left?" he asked with a tired tone. Chief Wang Dioke observed Yang Myeon's unsettled state with deep concern. "Yang Myeon, you're now a 3rd tier Eljoryeongsa, a cornerstone of our future in Rakang. You must regain your composure." Yang Myeon paid no heed to the chief's words. "I'll excuse myself for a bit," he replied indifferently. Chief Wang Dioke, infuriated to the point of gritting his teeth, slammed his hand on the table. "Yang Myeon, you stay right here. Don't you want to avenge Baichi?" Upon hearing this, Yang Myeon abruptly halted in his tracks. "Avenge? How can we avenge someone who can come back to life?" Disappointed, Chief Wang Dioke sighed heavily, realizing he couldn't reason with Yang Myeon. He simply tossed his pack of cigarettes toward him, muttering, "Take these if you need them." Yang Myeon retrieved the pack and returned to his place, murmuring something inaudible about the chief's smoking habits. "This Yang Myeon is quite intriguing," thought Chief Wang Dioke to himself. Calm and composed, even as a 3rd tier Eljoryeongsa, his demeanor shows no signs of haste or panic. At that moment, the door suddenly burst open and a panicked person rushed in, shouting loudly, "Chief Wang, it's a disaster." Chief Wang Dioke, furious, slammed his hand on the table. "How many times have I said to maintain discipline? And it's you again. The person I assigned to rest in the room has knocked me out cold and fled," the newcomer explained. "He even stripped me of my uniform. What's going on? BangHu has escaped. Everyone, quickly find BangHu," Chief Wang Dioke ordered, while the entire room scrambled in chaos. Amidst the commotion, Simryeon was the first to recognize BangHu. "BangHu, what are you doing here?" Instantly, all eyes in the room turned to BangHu, and guns were aimed in his direction. Only Yang Mayong remained seated, calmly smoking as if unconcerned with the situation. Do you realize that impersonating an investigator is a crime? Chief Wang Dok demanded. What are your intentions, BangHu? BangHu remained silent in response to the chief's question. Wang Dok, indifferent to the guns pointed at him, sat down and faced Yang Mayong directly. Do you want Baekji to come back to life? He asked. Yang Mayong's expression hardened. You dare to joke about resurrecting the dead? No matter who you are or where you come from, don't make light of death. Otherwise, someone will truly die. An invisible, immense pressure filled the room, akin to a tidal wave crashing down upon them. BangHu could sense Yang Mayong's overwhelming power, surpassing everyone else in the room. This was the true strength of a third-tier Eojoryangsa. Yet, to BangHu, this intimidation meant nothing. He continued to press his question. Will you answer me? Do you want to see this spectacle or not? BangHu asked calmly. Even the people aiming their guns at BangHu couldn't help but feel astonished. BangHu, what exactly are you up to? Someone shouted. Quick, catch him. However, Yang Mayong raised his hand to halt their actions. The dead cannot come back to life, no matter what, he asserted firmly. Baekji has been completely devoured by demons. He continued, his voice filled with uncertainty. But I might be losing my mind. Yet, I strangely feel you're telling the truth. So please tell me, can you really bring Baekji back to life? BangHu asked Yang Mayong. When Baekji died, he was in the mountains near Cheongbuk. Yang Mayong responded, reflecting on the situation. Due to incorrect leads, I was nearby. If only I had detected it sooner, perhaps he would still be alive. All right, give me your phone number, BangHu requested. I'll share a secret with you. Yang Mayong looked puzzled. Are we really discussing bringing Baekji back to life? He questioned, unsure. BangHu decided to be honest with him at that moment. I cannot bring the dead back to life, he admitted. However, I can travel to the past, change the future. After hearing BangHu's words, everyone in the room was deeply shocked. The ability to alter the future was even more astounding than resurrecting the dead. You're Eojoryangsa, aren't you? You're the divine healer, someone murmured incredulously. BangHu nodded solemnly. I've moved between future and past, lived and died countless times, he explained. To me, the future is just the result of different choices. I will return to before Baekji's incident. BangHu declared firmly. Give me your number. I'll tell you a secret about Baekji that only I know. Yang Mayong hesitated, then agreed. Let's try it once, he conceded, wiping tears from his eyes. If it fails, we lose nothing. My number is 138072, BangHu stated. I'll reveal a secret about Baekji that only I know. Yang Mayong's eyes widened in disbelief. Your audacity, he began, then stopped himself. All right, I'll wait for your call. As Yang Mayong left the room, tears streaming down his face, he was overwhelmed with mixed emotions. BangHu remained silent. The room returned to a quiet state as time ticked away, with everyone attentively watching him. Suddenly, BangHu spoke up, catching everyone's attention. Shall we continue the meeting? He asked. Unable to hold back, Yang Mayong immediately questioned him. Don't you want to go back to the past? We're waiting for your action. When are you going to go back? The tension in the room grew palpable. Quick, take this madman talking nonsense to the confinement room, someone suggested. He's not even in his right mind. Inside the confinement room, Yang Mayong sat down to talk with BangHu. The chief must have a new plan for bringing you here. Don't overthink it. If you understand, let's discuss the news about the demon's head and the deputy. Baekji's ability is speed. He surpasses his peers by far, giving him an absolute advantage in combat. Unfortunately, this time, we encountered the demon's image in the afternoon. The chief and Sinryong appeared furious as they searched for BangHu. The series of numbers you wrote down didn't hit. You should check it yourself, Yang Mayong said, crushing the cigarette in his hand. I told you, using the dead as a joke will result in their death. Is this tonight's winning number? You weren't wrong before. You said if you guessed wrong, you'd pay with your life. Let's see how you handle this, he continued calmly. BangHu, under the horrified gaze of everyone, decided to commit suicide with a surgical knife. Time rewound. Back when Lee Moonseal and Sim Ryong led him to the bureau to investigate the supernatural events. This time, he had to write down the winning number for Sim Ryong. Ahead, there was a turning point. A male employee will answer the phone. Hello. I don't buy houses, lend money, travel, or take care of health. What are you asking me for? He replied, I'm an honest person. You predicted earlier, didn't you? A man reaching out to the second row, rubbing against a female employee. I'm sorry. I didn't see you let me do it myself, he touched her quickly. I didn't what said. Unto thee, have done unto me according. BangHu entered the room effortlessly, as if he belonged there. He reached into the coffee maker for a cup, offering it to the two men with a nod of assurance. When did you arrive at the investigation agency? One of them asked skeptically. How did you know? Added the other. Sim Ryong always adds 5 sugar cubes when she drinks coffee. BangHu replied calmly. I've mentioned before, my eyes can foresee the future. And furthermore, Wang Diake is currently available. You both need to report to him. He continued nonchalantly. Meanwhile, Yang Mayong was driving when suddenly his phone rang. He answered and heard BangHu's voice on the other end, predicting Beiqi's imminent death within the hour. What are you saying? Yang Mayong exclaimed, startled. Who are you? He demanded. I'm BangHu. I have the ability to predict the near future, and I'm currently at the investigation agency. Regardless of who you are, joking can be deadly. BangHu revealed more unsettling details. How he had incapacitated Beiqi and foreseen his current danger. This unnerved Yang Mayong, who eventually turned his car towards Cheongbuk town, following BangHu's warnings. Back at the scene, Sim Ryong had set up a lie detector and confronted BangHu, questioning his claims calmly. How can you remain so composed in such situations? She inquired, her eyes fixed on the lie detector's readings. BangHu placed his hand on the machine, inviting her to proceed with her questions. Before she could finish, he preemptively answered each query, revealing his strategic prowess and resolve. The first question. I chose to battle the supernatural, he stated with certainty. The second. I refuse to join any demonic organization, even if it means betrayal. And the last. As Eojorionsa, my ultimate goal is to eradicate all evil beings from this world. The lie detector confirmed his truthfulness, prompting them to proceed to meet Chief Wang Dioke, driven by the urgency of BangHu's warnings and revelations. Sim Ryong listened with skepticism. Is this person for real? The machine is broken. How can you, Mr. BangHu, just be a new Eojorionsa? I find it hard to believe your ability to predict the future. Wang Dioke, there are still those in this world who cannot rely on conventional judgments to assess me and them. Fundamentally, we are not from the same class. Sim Ryong thought to herself, frustrated by BangHu's arrogance. I want to punch him so bad, but unfortunately, I can't. Where's the report on the spiritual pollution test, Sim Ryong? Wang Dioke asked sharply. I haven't written it yet, but BangHu has already given all the answers, Sim Ryong replied. Moreover, his answers were flawless, and the lie detector didn't detect any falsehood. My future prediction ability exacts a heavy toll on my brain each time I use it, processing large amounts of information. Therefore, I can't foresee distant futures, only in certain standout cases, BangHu explained calmly. Does that make sense to you, Chief? Sim Ryong wondered. His skills are extraordinary, yet they don't seem to diminish. How is he different from Tulin reaching the summit? Mr. BangHu, do you have expectations for your salary upon joining the investigation agency? Wang Dioke inquired. The compensation for a level 2 Eojorionsa includes a monthly stipend and a Yang card. BangHu replied confidently. Additionally, if my abilities are needed, extra fees apply. If you truly can predict the future, your requests can be fully accommodated. Wang Dioke acknowledged, albeit with some reservation. But additional fees are not guaranteed. It seems you still don't fully grasp the value of future prediction abilities, BangHu remarked calmly. However, that's all right. I intentionally prepared a grand ceremony for the investigation agency. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Simryeong interjected. What grand ceremony? BangHu smiled knowingly. It's the fate of Baekji. Wang Dioke's expression immediately turned serious. Are you daring to use Baekji's life as leverage against me? If you're worried now, you can call him. Chief Wan was about to call Baekji when suddenly someone pushed open the door and entered. How many times have I said we don't need to rush like this? Chief Wang's voice carried authority. Do we have someone named BangHu here? Why are you back? Baekji isn't here, he's in the hospital. The newcomer continued, unfazed. Didn't you two just chase after a demon with a human head? That's right, Simryeong interjected, summoning her fiery demeanor. What have you done to Deputy Baekji? He's right in front of you. Moments ago, you mentioned wanting to give the investigation agency a gift, and now you're reporting Baekji's injury. This is indeed a significant gift, she remarked sarcastically. That's right, it's truly a significant gift, Chief Wang agreed, stunned. So, you're BangHu, huh? Thanks to your timely reminder through the phone call, I was able to save Baekji, Yang Mayong acknowledged. Furthermore, everything I found at the scene matched your descriptions perfectly. Chief Wang, are you satisfied with this gift of mine? BangHu inquired calmly. And Miss Simryeong, does she have the courage and strength you expected? He added, addressing Simryeong. With just one phone call, BangHu had managed to save a life, proving his worth as the Yeojoryongsa of Rockang City. Simryeong escorted BangHu back to the waiting room while Yang Mayong stayed behind. A few minutes later, BangHu and Simryeong returned to find the newcomer deeply perceptive, able to predict not only his own passions, but also the secret tattoos on others' bodies. His intense gaze could penetrate even the most opaque. He's become completely transparent. There are no secrets, Simryeong observed quietly. Moreover, he always stared directly at his own neck, which resembled his wife's, fair and slender. I really want to use a knife to make a regrettable cut, he mused, his voice tinged with warmth. Human blood is so warm, unlike my wife's. But she could bleed too, couldn't she? If blood stained her body, she would surely be very refreshed. Rinsol, step outside for a moment, he requested calmly. I have something private to discuss with BangHu. Simryeong, despite her curiosity, had long since lost interest in waiting around. She nodded lightly and left. After Simryeong left, Yang Mayong sat down directly opposite BangHu. The fact that I gave Baekji a laxative, you didn't tell anyone else about it, did you? Not even Chief Wang, Yang Mayong asked, his tone cautious as he faced BangHu's ability to predict the future. BangHu, with a sudden change in demeanor, replied, but from now on, I'm not sure I can keep this matter confidential. What do you mean? Yang Mayong's expression turned stern. Are you suggesting I pay you more? In an instant, Yang Mayong's face became less composed. BangHu, if you're about to join the investigation agency, I'll be your team captain. Are you planning to extort your captain? I'm sure even Captain Yang Mayong doesn't want his drugging of others known by his deputy. BangHu remarked casually. Yang Mayong became angry. You haven't even joined the investigation agency yet. Do you believe that I could simply say a word and your salary would jump to 200 ust? My monthly salary is only 10 ust. I'd rather be beaten to death by Baekji. BangHu didn't say much. He took a deep breath and then exclaimed loudly, Yang Mayong, don't give me the laxative. Don't do it. Are you joking, BangHu, or shall we negotiate? Yang Mayong proposed. Let's stick to the original price of 100 ust. BangHu took another deep breath. Yang Mayong, give me the laxative. All right, 200, I'll give you 200. Finally, Yang Mayong had to endure the pain. He reached into his wallet and took out 200 ust to hand over to BangHu, treating it as hush money. Afterwards, Yang Mayong reacted similarly to when he heard about Baekji before, frozen and feeling lonely. He sat down in a corner and smoked a cigarette. Rinsol, can you lend me some 0 ust? My monthly salary is only 50 ust, he said. As a captain, you can't find me money if you need to borrow 20 ust.